Isn't it absolutely wild how there are Instagram models out there who are making thousands of dollars every single month just from OnlyFans, while you are out there slaving away in your 9 to 5, making absolute peanuts in comparison? Now, does that seem fair if you're even one, just working the 9 to 5, or two, maybe you even have a side hustle on top of that, and they're still destroying you in terms of income, all just from them looking cute online? That is literally all they have on you. What if I told you that there is a little backdoor route that we can use in order to do this ourselves, completely anonymously? I've been doing this myself for a while now, and I'm going to show you right now in this free training. Now, you must have probably heard of the viral internet model Corinna Kopf. She's a 27-year-old Instagram model with over 5 million followers on TikTok alone. Guess how much she made in 2023? Just 2023 alone. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million? No. It sounds mental, but it's even more than those insane numbers. And guess what? She made a crazy 6 million plus US dollars from OnlyFans over the last year. And she's not the only one either. Amber Rose, Skyberry, Belle Delphine. I'm sure these names all sound familiar to you. All of them have a little link in their bio, which leads to platforms like OnlyFans, FanView, and Fansly that makes them insane amounts of money. As a matter of fact, OnlyFans and FanView have been blowing up like crazy for quite some time and has turned into a multi-billion-dollar industry. Here's a crazy statistic to prove how hot the OnlyFans industry is. OnlyFans creators made more last year than every single NBA player combined. And with the demand of mature content only increasing, the industry is going to be the most lucrative industry to make money in 2024 and beyond. But there's only one small problem for people like you and me. The only way that you can tap into this viral gold rush is by either being a good-looking model or by partnering up with one. If you're anything like me, who is neither a model nor want to deal with the stress that comes with trying to sign clients, that's why I asked myself a question for a long time. And that question was, how can I make money from platforms like OnlyFans too without actually being a model myself? A little over a year ago, I cracked the code to doing exactly that. I discovered a little known 3-step method that leverages cutting edge AI technology in order to make money without even touching a camera once. That's right, I never filmed a single video. I never showed my face on camera. I never had to outreach to sign any clients. And yet, FanView pays me $49,713 every single month. And I'm not the only one either. Others have done it as well. Like Pav, who used my system to go from $0 to $10,000 and then managed to scale to $30,000 per month himself in just over 4 months. Or like Mark, who uses my system whenever he needs some extra cash and rakes in sums like $1,000 or above in just 2 hours of work. Or even like Lucas, who was a high school student when I took him into my beta program to test out my system, and he ended up making $1,500 in his first week. And the only reason they were able to do that is because they discovered this little known method too. The same method that I'm going to reveal to you in the next minutes of this video. So pay very close attention, because this is going to show you a whole new way of making money. A way you've likely never seen before. And let me be clear, for all this work, you do not need to have a startup capital, have prior business experience, or have any special skills. But you'll be able to tap into an opportunity which has created so many millionaires in the shortest possible time. Let me introduce myself. My name is Kyle. If I look familiar to you, maybe you saw me talking on YouTube before about this. Or maybe we've never met. Regardless, I've been in the background silently dominating FanView for the last 12 months. Now, I'm not saying this to impress you, but to impress upon the fact that I didn't just pop up yesterday. I've been around the game for a while, and I know what it takes to go make money through paid content platforms while never showing my face. And I have a method to do it without having to do the hard work myself. In just a minute, I'll tell you all about this method so you can use it as well. But first, let's talk about how I discovered it. Because before I was flying wherever I wanted, not worrying about bills anymore and traveling the world, my life looked very different. So let's rewind a little over 3 years ago. I was 18 years old, high in hopes and energy, and one of my long-term goals come true. I was finally going to join the military. It was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and that dream finally came true after putting in years of work into fitness and preparing myself for the military. I got enlisted and become a part of the military officially. Everything was looking amazing, future seemed secured, but life isn't always that straightforward, is it? Just 1 year into service, something horrible happened, something that you never want to happen, and something that I for sure dreaded. I got injured. It wasn't a small injury, unfortunately. It was serious enough to be able to get me medically discharged. And here I was, basically back to square one. I felt numb for weeks as my childhood dream just got absolutely crushed at the age of 18. But I didn't have time to sob. I had a family to support and bills to pay. But I knew that I could not just take the normal path, doing the same thing as everyone else on the path to a boring life filled with nothing exciting. The same path that's likely in front of you as well. You go to school, get a job, sacrifice the best years of your life till you're 65, and then, and only then, can you actually enjoy the fruits of your labor. Except by that time, it's far too late to actually be able to enjoy them. That reality just did not and does not sit well with me. I had dreams, goals, and aspirations of doing a lot more with my life. So I started to search for a better way. After spending months and months of researching, I figured out the best way to escape the rat race would be to start a business. After all, it's what everyone was talking about. So I figured it cannot be that hard. And that's when reality set in. Every single business model I looked at was a lot more difficult than people were making it out to be. At first, I looked into e-commerce. I even ended up purchasing some stock, which I hoped would sell like crazy, only for it to collect dust in the Amazon warehouse later. But the real problem with that is if you want to scale, you have to spend thousands of dollars on inventory. Thousands of dollars which I just did not have. I'd already spent my savings on that original stock. I believe I was selling chargers. I was going out to sell them on Amazon, doing e-commerce, and it did not work out. Not to mention, there's no guarantee of success in this game, which then led me down the road into dropshipping. But while it solved the problem of not having to actually buy that inventory, great, I don't have to have thousands of dollars in my bank. Brilliant. The margins are absolutely horrible. You'd have to earn $100,000 in sales to maybe just make your first 10 or 20K in profit. Don't even get me started on the high refund rates, because nobody in their right mind wants to wait 4 weeks for a shitty product that comes from China. Dropshipping was out the picture. Then I finally looked into starting a social media marketing agency. After all, everybody claimed that you can start with putting zero money down. But here's what they aren't telling you. Starting an agency requires you to be good at scaling a business, which means not only do you have to figure out how to actually find and hire clients, but now you've got those clients, you have to actually be able to deliver a result for them. And delivering those results just is not easy. So the reality is most agency owners don't make more than a regular guy just working a 9 to 5. That's just how it is. And the gurus selling you that SMMA business model, well, they aren't making money actually doing SMMA, but instead they're actually selling you their course. So after trying to start traditional SMMA and failing absolutely miserably, I was almost about to give up the idea of starting a business altogether. Until one day, I got the bright idea to start an SMMA agency, but for OF models. This was around the time of COVID had just passed. So Basically, no businesses had money to spend on social media marketing services anyway, but platforms like OnlyFans absolutely took off during COVID. Creators were making just insane amounts of money. People were becoming rich overnight by selling themselves online. And that is when the idea struck me. What if I start an SMMA agency which helps promote OnlyFans models? I already had experience running a social media marketing agency, and I knew the best way to basically market anyone else online. And my target customer base did not really know about marketing themselves. But the truth is, they had shit tons of cash to be able to spend. It all sounded amazing in theory. And it seemed like I had found the perfect business model for me to make good money online. But still, this just had me throwing a dart in the dark. Hardly anyone was doing this then. So despite this business model sounding excellent on paper, I didn't really have high hopes they would work. But to my complete surprise, it actually did. OnlyFans Management Agency became my first successful online business venture, and I was thrilled. All I had to do was sign models, set up a revenue split, and then promote them on different traffic channels and promote their OnlyFans page. And since the demand for that kind of content was so high, my OFM agency started to finally take off. But while things looked amazing from the outside, the same was not the case from the inside. While my business was generating great revenue, I wasn't really taking as much as I wanted home. And to make matters worse, I was suffering from serious stress and burnout underneath. There were some big problems that I had been sweeping under the rug for a long time and were starting to catch up with me. You see, handling models is not the easiest task, as most of them need micromanaging every single day just to be able to create the amount of content that you need to market them. And a lot of them just don't have high income goals. So it's really hard to be able to scale an OFM agency with just a few models, which means you need to partner up with a lot of models. And that inevitably leads to a lot of time wasted. Also, a lot of these models, they can just walk out on you for the smallest things. After you invest so much time, so much money into their accounts, they don't care. They will leave you stranded and lost. And that is exactly what happened many, many times. The same thing happened when my biggest client just deserted me for zero reason. That was a tipping point for me. I thought to myself, enough is enough. I knew I could not live this way. Too many things were getting out of my control. Yes, the money was good in the start, but what I wanted was peace of mind and, more importantly, time freedom. So I got thinking, what could I do to solve my problems? As luck would have it, at that exact time, AI was booming, and I could definitely see its potential in solving my business problems. One day, randomly, I was scrolling through Instagram. I saw this reel of a beautiful female influencer on my For You page. At first, I didn't pay much attention. I just thought she was another IG model like many others. But once I opened the comment section, I was surprised to see people talking about how this model is not real and created using AI tools. That was a major light bulb moment for me. And I knew I could use this concept in my modeling business too. If I could create a similar AI model for myself, it would instantly fix all my problems. An AI model can't leave you, unlike a real model. They don't exist. There is no revenue split. Again, the model does not exist. You keep 100% of the profits that you're generating. And most importantly, I can get back to my time and peace of mind as an AI model. Is not going to throw tantrums and does not need hand-holding in terms of making content. This was literally the perfect scenario for me. I could get all the perks of the OFM business model without any of the downsides. So I got to work trying to turn my vision into reality. First, I looked up the best AI tools, which can help me create realistic and attractive model in the shortest amount of time. The most famous tools at the time, Midjourney and DALL-E 2, they sucked at creating realistic human images that you can't even replicate the face of more than once. So after weeks of obsessive research, I stumbled across a brand new AI tool called stockimage.ai. It had literally just dropped the morning that I had discovered it. Not only could Stock Image create realistic female content, but it could also replicate the same model over and over again. Basically, that was the bingo moment. And so in just a few days, I was able to design my first AI influencer, and I could later make her an Instagram account. Now, the next step was to gain attention on Instagram, so that obviously you can then transform her fans into cash. So after testing multiple content angles and strategies with my AI model, I began to see what's working and what's not in terms of engagement and results on social media. It was clear that Reels and TikToks were the most viral and effective content to promote my model. But then I was faced with another problem. While AI could create realistic images, it still could not generate videos at the time. Unless, actually, this is some good shit, which I will save for later in the video if you decide to stick around. That's exactly what I did to solve this problem and create viral video content for my AI model. Then I continued to make little tweaks to my strategy each day, optimizing it just a tiny bit to improve my previous results. And slowly but surely, results began coming in the form of a few hundred new followers every single day on Instagram and TikTok. Now, the thing that was left was to monetize this attention and I'd be set. And surprisingly, it didn't prove that difficult of a thing for me. You see, the concepts which applied to monetizing a real model's content applied to an AI model too. And I was pretty good at monetizing OnlyFans content due to my previous experience. So I began applying the exact same concepts, and there we have it. First, it started to make a few $100s here and there through chatting in DMs with my first few subscribers on FanView, which then led to hundreds of monthly subscription payouts as my model's following grew every single week exponentially. And it finally turned into thousands of dollars flowing into my bank account each month in the form of sweet FanView cash outs. At this point, I was making around 10 to 15K by just doing 2 hours of work per day. I was happy. I had turned my dream into reality. I'd finally created a real online business for myself, which didn't just pay well, but actually gave me time to do the things I always wanted to do. But it didn't stop there. I knew I had the proof of concept, and now it was time to scale. I was the first mover into this exciting space, and I wanted to take full advantage of it. So rather than resting on my laurels, I decided to strike the iron while it's hot and expand my operations. I created more AI models, posted more content, and in turn started making way more money. This scaling phase was what led me to income of above the $50,000 plus range. And that's not even the best part about scaling my AI model business. Yeah, sure. Scaling other business models also leads to an increase in income, but it is also accompanied by an inevitable increase in stress and time invested too. That's where AI models is different. You see, in this model, I could scale my business effortlessly without spending more time or effort. How? You see, most of the work in this business model is done by an artificial intelligence. And unlike humans, an AI doesn't need more time to just repeat the same processes of model generation, content creation, and monetization at scale. This meant I could spend my time growing more and more models, which meant my income with AI models is essentially uncapped. On top of that, once I had my exact SOPs of each part of the business dialed in, I hired VAs so that they could take over all my day-to-day tasks and free up my time even more. Now I didn't even have to spend the 2 to 3 hours I was spending earlier in creating content and engaging with my model's followers anymore. My business was basically running on autopilot now, where I virtually had zero involvement other than my weekly check-in to see how things were going, and that's it. Now, you may be thinking, Kyle, this all sounds too good to be true. Look, I get it. I'd be skeptical too if I was you. But as you heard through my story, I have been in the trenches working with this business model day in, day out, learning things through trial and error. In fact, I am the pioneer of this business model, who helped bring this business model into the public domain. And that is why I know all the sneaky details which no one else in the industry does. And because you decided to give me your valuable time, I will share exactly how you too can make 10K, 20K, and even 30K dollars plus with AI models. So I suggest you grab a pen and notepad because I'm about to drop some serious value. And now to show you what an AI model actually looks like, so you can see with your own eyes that all I talked about is indeed real, and that you too can create an AI model right now and make money through it. Here is a clip which I created that shows you what exactly is possible through the power of AI.
The new generation of AI is here, and you haven't even realized it yet. Most of you won't even realize the difference between real and fantasy. This is where we can capitalize. You can now create your own influencer, fully AI generated, build them a fan base, and milk their fans for money. You have two choices. Take the blue pill and stay in your 9 to 5, or take the red pill and see the power of AI. AI is the next generation of youth. You can create AI models that behave like normal people, but they are purely based inside the metaverse. Let the revolution begin. Make sure you're on the correct side. The first step, of course, is to create your very own AI model. Now, there are many dedicated online platforms out there that are literally designed to do exactly this. I've experimented with almost all of these available platforms, and after heaps of trial and error, I can confirm that one of the easiest, most straightforward platforms available is Genfluence. Genfluence has an extremely simple user interface that absolutely anybody can use, no matter their technical knowledge or AI experience. To find this platform, simply type in genfluence.ai into Google and click the first link. Genfluence does come at a cost, of course, but it's very affordable and uses tokens to generate your content. At the most basic level, you can pay $9 once for 2,000 tokens, and each piece of content only uses a couple of tokens, meaning you can generate up to 1,000 pieces of content for less than the price of a couple coffees. Now, Genfluence has 3 different modes that you can use to generate content: simple, advanced, and image to image. On simple and advanced, all you need to do is type a simple text prompt to tell the software what you want in your image. And with image to image, you can input an image as inspiration for the software to use. So let's get into it. Firstly, you need to create your AI model's face. To do this, I recommend using advanced mode. When describing your model's face in the text prompt, a key thing to remember here is that the more specific detail you provide, the better. Think about the finer details. Think about facial shape, think about eyebrow thickness, think about cheekbone definition, jawline sharpness, nose width. The more details you put into the prompt, the more finely tuned your results will be. One of Genfluence's best features is the character feature. Here, you can input an image of your AI model's face and save it as one of your characters, which saves you a shit ton of time in future generations. The second and next step in the framework is generating viral content centered around your AI model to post on social media to gain attention. A key thing to remember is that it's not just the attractiveness of your model that matters here. Of course, your model has to be attractive for potential subscribers to take an interest, but an attractive model won't get you far if you don't have the correct type of content. What you should do is market research. Take a look through attractive models on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, who are getting a lot of views, and take note of what is happening in the content. What are the models wearing? Where are they located? What poses are they pulling? What backgrounds do they have? Remember, your model is only half of the content. The other half is everything else in the content. On top of this, different styles of content work better on different social media platforms. For example, more innocent and aesthetic content works better on Instagram. Anything too provocative or explicit will get you banned. Whereas more provocative and direct content works better on Twitter as it has less restrictions. If you stick with just one social media platform, I definitely recommend Instagram. If somebody tells you to check out a hot girl, the first place you'll probably look is on Instagram. To create content for Instagram, head back to Genfluence and describe in detail the image you want to produce in the text prompt. Mention what you want to see in the image, including background, clothing, pose, and the type of body your model has. Don't worry too much about the model's face because, as we mentioned earlier, you can simply use the character feature to save time. Once you've generated your content, make sure to set up your AI model's Instagram for optimization. Use a nice profile picture, half body images showing the model's face and the top half of her body work best, especially in a bikini. Include an enticing bio that gives a small piece of information about your model and also a link to her subscription platform. I'd recommend her age, location, followed by a call to action phrase that entices people to click on the link below. Once this is set up, it's time to start posting your content to gain some attention. Start by posting once a day, along with one lifestyle story every day, and also a more enticing story that has a link attached. Another great tip is that whenever you post a story, put it into a story highlight so that people can always see those stories. A rule of thumb when it comes to posting viral content is the more content you post, the more attention you will gain. So make sure you stay consistent and increase the amount of posts you do as time goes by. As well as posting content, you can gain even more attention by following potential subscribers so that they can check out your model's account, follow you back, and potentially subscribe. Make sure to follow the correct type of accounts. Check through other attractive models or influencer followers, and you have a wide audience sitting there waiting for you. But don't follow too many people too quickly, as this will get your account flagged. The third and final step in my 3-step framework is monetizing your AI model's audience on FanView. You might be thinking, why FanView? Why not OnlyFans? Because when we did try OnlyFans for our AI models, we were faced with block payments and poor customer support, which basically got us looking for alternatives. And that's when we stumbled upon FanView, which doesn't only have good support, timely payouts, but actively advocates AI models on its platform. Also, OnlyFans takes 20% of all your earnings, whereas FanView only takes 15%, making it the clear winner for your AI model. So, you've created your AI model, generated her social content, and marketed her. By now, you will have many subscribers flying through to your model's FanView. So how do you actually make money from them? There are 4 different methods of earning cold hard cash, which I'll break down for you now. The first method is simply from subscriptions. You can set a price that your audience has to pay in order to get access to your model's account. Don't price this too high though, as this can sometimes prevent people from wanting to subscribe. The next way you can make money is from pay-to-view content. FanView has a Facebook-style timeline set up, and you can post free content that subscribers can see for free, or you can post content that subscribers will have to pay a bit extra to unlock. Same as subscription price, don't price pay-to-view content too high either. If your subscribers enjoy their experience on your model's account, it's very common for them to send you tips with FanView's tipping feature. So make sure to engage with subscribers and really give them the best experience possible in order to increase the amount of tips that you get. Last but not least, the main way to monetize your audience is by selling pay-to-views in your DMs. Selling pay-to-views in the DMs is by far the most lucrative monetization method on FanView, so make sure to stay consistent with this. The real trick here is to not come across like somebody who is just trying to make money. You know those guys who knock on your door and try to sell you windows? Straight away, you feel pressured by them and you know in your head that there's no way you're buying those windows. Same psychology works in FanView. If you message a subscriber trying to immediately sell them content, this will create sales resistance. The secret to making as much money as possible in the DMs is to build a relationship with the subscriber first and make them feel valued. Build a connection by engaging in normal conversations first, and once a subscriber feels comfortable with you and trusts you, then you'll be able to sell far more pay-to-views to them. And there you have it, my simple 3-step framework to bringing in life-changing amounts of cash with your very own AI model. The beauty of this is you can replicate this exact process as many times as you wish, with as many AI models as you wish. All you have to do is rinse and repeat. So, if I summarize my 3-step framework that I use to grow each of my AI models to make 10K, 20K, and even $30,000 plus with you. Step 1, create an AI model using the latest state-of-the-art AI tools like Genfluence.ai. Step 2, create viral content centered around your AI model and post it on social media to gain traction. Step 3, convert this traction into cold hard cash by funneling it into subscription-based platforms like FanView, where you can easily monetize it.
As you saw in the clip, now my days mostly consist of traveling the world with my mates, spending time with family, and documenting exactly this, all on social media. And none of this would have happened if I never stumbled across AI models. I would still be slaving away for 8 hours every single day if I followed that traditional business advice. I would still be in debt and I would still be absolutely miserable. And I never wanted any of that. All I wanted was a way to make easy money online. So I quit my job and had real freedom. I didn't have to set alarm clocks. I didn't have a boss, and I could do exactly what I wanted when I wanted to do it. Most of all, I wanted security. I never wanted to worry where my next paycheck was coming from. I never wanted to worry about where the bills are going to be paid. And I definitely did not want to worry about recessions. And the likelihood is, neither do you. I want the exact same as you do. That is freedom and security. Since you're lucky enough to stumble across this video, you may have the chance to do exactly that. You see, I'm looking for a select group of people who are looking to make their first $5,000 online using this AI model industry. If you want to be one of those lucky individuals, all you have to do is click the button below and book a one-on-one Zoom call with our team. So you have three options right now. Option one is that you ignore this whole video. The chances are, if you've clicked through all this and watched this far into the video, you are looking to make a change. Option two is you can go away and try and learn this on your own. Scroll on YouTube, try to piece it all together, waste your precious time, effort, and money. But let's face it, if all the free information on YouTube made everyone six figures a month or to get to where they want to be, then everyone would be exactly where they wanted to be. But we both know that that is absolute rubbish. YouTube does not get everyone exactly where they want to be. You can soak up all the free information you like. That is just not the reality of things. Or you can choose option three, which is to take the shortcut to success with me. We can give you our done for you system, which will allow you to have your first profitable AI model within the next 14 days. So if this sounds good to you, all you have to do is book that one-on-one strategy call so we can discuss this once in a lifetime opportunity, where for once you are early in a business model and you get to reap the rewards that most do when they discover a business model early. And this is especially true for those of you who have tried crypto, dropshipping, copywriting, or any of these washed up business methods that have been used over and over again online, which people still claim make you rich. Now is your chance to jump into an unsaturated opportunity that people are actively making money with. Now, I want to be clear. This is not just a quick pitch or sales call that we're going to ask you a bunch of questions and then try convince you to join, because this is truly not for everyone. And alignment is absolutely key with this business model. We are only going to be taking on select students that we think will succeed. And there's no better way to get to know you than in a one-on-one call. In this one-on-one call, we will basically get to know a little bit about yourself and, of course, your current situation. This will allow us to determine whether you will be a good fit for our program. And by the end of this one-on-one call, you will walk away with a map of the next 28 days so that you are able to make your first $1,000 online with AI models. This is for you if you want one-on-one help in creating your first AI model and starting to market them on social media. This is for you if you have zero social media presence and you have no reason to want to show your face and you want to remain completely anonymous online, yet you still want to generate those $10,000 months. This is for you if you are desperate to make money and make something work online, but you have very little time to invest into a business model. However, this is not for you if you are broke and you have zero credit in the bank. Our mentorship costs money, and you need to be able to invest in yourself to be able to make a significant change in your life. We only want to mentor action takers who are going to generate cash online. And this is not for you if you are not willing to do whatever it takes and work super, super hard in order to make $10,000 to $20,000 a month within this program. we only manage a small group of students who are willing to make a serious change in their life. So if you are 100% committed into making this change in your life and starting a new business, all you need to do is click the one-on-one strategy session button and book in your one-to-one call. And we will walk you from start to finish exactly how you can start with AI models and start to generate your own income. Be sure to be in a quiet place so we can show you exactly how everything works. And finally, I am confident that you will get results from this if you just put in 2 hours a day. The best case scenario is that we have alignment and you are a good fit for us to help you one-on-one. And the worst case scenario is that you jump on the call and we can't help you. And that's okay, because we are willing to point you in the right direction towards someone or something that will allow you to make this exact change in your life. As you can see, there's no losing from booking this call. You either jump on with us and we are able to help you one-on-one, or you jump on, we can't help you, and you leave knowing that you at least tried. So if you are ready to start generating an income with the hottest business model in 2024, then all you need to do is book your strategy call, pressing the button below. With all the inflation that's happening in the world right now, I guarantee this is the #1 way to generate a new income in 2024, because everyone is craving this spicy content and that is not going anywhere. It's been a lot of fun sharing this with you today, and I look forward to helping you make your dream income with AI models.